Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Legion 99 podcast, your source for the latest tactics, news, battle reports, hobby talk, and general Legion chatter. Yes. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Legion 99. We're back. Me and Mike are here, and we are here with our good buddy Pat. He's been on the cast before. It's been a while. And our other good friend, the Lost Raccoon, Evan, the Trash Panda Bulriss.
How's it going, guys?
Great.
Good.
So happy to have everybody here. Big full room. Everybody's getting ready for the new year. It's like less than 2 days away, and I can't wait at the end of this cast to be like, see you next year.
You're gonna be that guy.
Favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's that guy. This time
not the
of year.
heat; it's the humidity.
This is actually a big day, though, because we'll talk about this later in the cast, but Pat and I played a couple games today, and he can officially say that he went undefeated against me for an entire calendar year.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
Really?
I heard about 7 times today.
Look out, world. Well,
did you beat him? Did you guys play 2 games today, or did he just quit after 1 and played skirmish?
No, we played 2.
Just kidding.
We only played 3 games, so I think all year, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, well, there's no way I win both of these, so there's no way it happened. So yeah, I had to talk a little bit of shit afterwards.
Yeah,
that's hey, enjoy it while you can, buddy.
Yeah, not too many people meet Mike regularly, so I'm gonna enjoy it today, forever.
I'm
sure not one of them. All right, we're gonna talk about those games. The game I played. We're gonna talk about Worlds. And we have Evan on, so we are gonna talk about the greatest event in the history of Legion, the Gold Sprue. There's our lead in.
Well,
Golden
it's like
Sprue.
The title keeps getting longer, so it's the Voice Presents : Golden Sprue : the Nick Bodnar Memorial 2 : Electric Boogaloo.
Bluey's birthday bash.
Bluey's birthday bash. Actually, oh man. I should just write that all down. That should be it's like someone has to buy a ticket, they have to like find that huge like
there's like 5 titles.
So yeah, if you don't know, Golden Sprue we did last year is a like a Legion celebration event. More or less you're there for the love of the game and to hang out with your friends. I specifically said no worlds and no cash prizes. Because we're like a private event, we could have done money. I don't believe in that for miniature games because it makes people do like dog water things with toys, so cut that out. And I did have the option to get I think at least 1 world invite, but I didn't want to do that because I want people to come and play just wherever they want. There's no like nothing on the line, right? Like that's nothing feels worse than like at PAX, I came in 13th and got the last world invite. Do you know how bad that would have felt if I came in 13th and the 12th guy got it?
I'm pretty sure the person behind you also wanted a world's invite.
Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry for that guy.
So it's like,
whoever that was, I'm real
unfortunate.
Sorry. That sucks, dude. So I didn't want that like kind of heat on anybody. I just wanted this to be a fun event where if you lose, like who cares, right? Like it doesn't matter.
You just drink more.
Yeah, exactly. So the hotels in Schenectady, they were very generous with their pours last year. So they were like just happy you were here kind of
when
thing.
When they were pouring drinks.
Oh yeah, dude. What was it last year? Like it was like 2:00 in the morning or something.
Zach just went behind the bar at one point.
Yeah, I told them to have more staff on this time. Because they had like 1 guy in the kitchen and like 1 guy bartending, and like it wasn't.
And it was the same guy.
Yeah. Oh god, I felt bad for him. So like no one. Legion's got a very good community where no one was like, "Hey man, like what the fuck?" Or sorry, heck, what the heck? All right, just gonna beep that out.
You can swear.
Okay, all right. And so everyone kind of felt bad for the dude, and he got some good tips. But I wanted to make sure that we had like, if you wanted to eat in, it wasn't like a forget it. I think this year we might do like a group pizza or something. Because going out for food and trying to find everything last year was kind of a nightmare. We had that.
It was also the coldest, like.
Oh, it was negative 20. It was negative 20. When I was driving up my car, like my windows were freezing. I had to put the heat on blast. It was nuts. There's a whole debacle where all of us went out to like some German ale house, but as soon as we all walked in, the chef's like, "I'm not cooking anything anymore." So it was Mike and Nick. Who else was with you? Was it
My sources
Zach
tell me it was
and
Rich and Zach.
Rich.
Kodak
Okay.
and Braun.
And so we leave. We're like, heck, the heck with this. We'll go find somewhere else. And I tell them the wrong bar. And I go to the bar I thought I told them to go to. Eventually they end up there and we had a pretty good time, but it was like I don't want to do that again. That was kind of a nightmare. That sucked. So I'm still trying to figure out like best thing for that. It might be like I don't know. We'll figure that out. But I don't want anyone to have to like scramble for food again Saturday night because that was kind of nuts. So for Legion though, we're doing 3 rounds Saturday, 2 rounds Sunday. We're toying around with like if you want to drop on Sunday, we might do like a super game or something where like it's as many people on one side of the table versus as many people on the other side of the table. And it's just some massive weird like we're still banging that one out, but it's you'll get 5 games before Worlds in a casual environment. We have a dump truck load of prizes, tons of Legion product, tons of like brushes, Army Painter, 2 of the new wet palettes, 2 of the full speed paint sets. There's I think it's like Goblin Gaming is giving us wolf hair brushes. There's man, there's just a ton. Like it keeps going. So we'll have a ton of prizes, a ton of cool awards, and let's see, one last thing. Saturday night we're gonna do a trivia event. I don't know if we'll do like teams or something. I still got to work again. That's happening. I got all this trivia stuff. That went over pretty well last year. And so the new thing we're doing is we're gonna go with we're trying this out. It's gonna be the Du Bois official scoring system. So there'll be definitely if you come in first, you're first. There's a first, second, third. You'll get award. That's that. Best in faction, that's there. Best sportsmanship runner-up gets an award. Last place gets an award like we did before. But there's gonna be a grand champion this year, and they're gonna get to hold the wrestling belt. Wrestling belt to be determined. I ordered it, but we'll have you take a picture with it. But I want to kind of stay with the group so it doesn't walk off because it's out of my pocket. So it's cool though. It's gonna be cool. So
I'll take good care of it. I'll take good care of it.
I did buy the wall mount too. So if you win it twice in a row, you can put it in the back there. That's something else. Another one of your cool trophies.
Yeah.
So the grand champion is interesting, where you're going to be graded on your sportsmanship, and there's actually going to be a whole thing you have to fill out after each opponent. And it's not negative. It's like, would you play this opponent again? Yes or no? Okay, yes. And then after the end of your rounds, you rate your opponents 1 through 3. And that's not saying the third guy was like bad or anything. It's just who would you love to play again? So if I played Nick and it said, would you play him again? Yes. And then I rated him as my number 1. Yep, he was my favorite game today. That's like a scoring system for that. And also, so you're going to get rated on like how well you are as a sportsman. The next is your actual hobbying, and there's going to be a hobby judge table that you're going to bring your army to if you want to go for the running for the grand champion. And then you get to pitch your army. So these guys are professional painters. They look at your stuff, and if you have like a display board or you have a story behind your army or whatever you want to do, they'll take all that information down. There's going to be a whole checklist I have that you can actually look at to see what you want to like what you're getting scored on. It's not just some ambiguous art thing. I hate Legion paint scoring in general because it's like, I guess
we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah,
we just haven't gotten there yet. Yeah,
It's been 5 years. We could probably get there.
So like, it's something I always want to do more of. Like, I want to like focus on that at my events, but like, I always just get like, I'm busy with everything else. As like somebody who like paints and like the last like few tournaments I've played in, like I've been like, okay, I want to win best painted, and like I got really close at Crucible. It's like, but I didn't quite get it, and I was super disappointed about it. So now I know what I'm doing for this one. Now I know
it'd be
that
nice to know why.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's a big thing with Legion painting that we don't get is so if you lose.
To be fair, Crucible, I did get a reason why I didn't win, even though I disagreed with it. But
that's fair.
That's just me being a sore loser and a big baby, and why I will not be grand champion.
So I'll show the rubric. It's going to be in the packet of everything that they're going to look for. So it's not going to be some nebulous like, did you, I don't know, like it's why'd you lose? I just didn't like it. It's going to be, did you do all these things? So what you're actually getting graded against. And then also in the grand champion, it calculates your placing. So sometimes the grand champion's like a 3-2 because he was the best like sport. He had an immaculately painted army, and he did pretty well. So that's something to keep in mind. We're trying it out this year. I like the idea that sportsmanship, hobby, and placing all kind of culminate to grand champion. Besides the guy who just wins. Not saying that guy isn't a great sportsman, but
he wasn't last year.
Yeah, he was a real piece of work last year. We had to have pull him aside and tell him to knock it off.
He brought Lando, for God's sakes. What is wrong
Dude,
with him?
You don't know the irony of me like having to give out your memorial plaque to you. And I'm like, I guess.
I think people didn't think it was real that I won my own tournament, basically.
That was good though. That was it made a full circle.
Yeah, it was great.
So we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff. Jay will be streaming with the 5th Trooper. So we'll have a stream table.
Is there like a sobriety limit for the stream table?
No, I told look, because I don't care. Well,
I just want to make sure Jay knows what he's getting into. I have to care about these things now.
That's fair. That's fair. It's not that I don't care. It's that I'm the Golden Sprue is fun first. So like if you get on there with Jay, I'm sure that'd be like that's all I could ask for. That kind of commentary. So we're gonna do a bunch of stuff. Please, check it out if you're in the area. It was a good time last year, and we're hoping to make it a good time this year. Also, it's also Bluey party themed. Because I thought that was last year was Star Wars children's party themed. This year is Bluey children's.
I hope
party
Grogu's
themed.
Still waiting for us in the ceiling.
My hope is that so last year it was Tim Hannon's birthday. And then if you're listening to this and you sign up, please ping me if it's your birthday around that time too. I'm going to make you hold like an inflatable something, probably a bingo or Bluey.
We'll get a cake and we'll put
balloon.
Everybody whose birthdays.
Yeah, just like really.
On it. Yeah.
So we made Tim Hannon hold an inflatable Grogu, and then the weights came off, and it just T-posed and floated to the top. And as we're playing, it's just T-posed and looking down on us. I really hope no one's used the conference room. So like in the corner, there's just a deflated Grogu doll, just like waiting for us again. So yeah, it's going to be January 27th, 28th. And yeah, it's going to be a really good time. Love to see you there. And yeah, we're going to do some cool stuff. I think the amount of prize support, I would be shocked if there wasn't something like if you go like the odds of you not winning even like a little something is like low with the amount of stuff we're going to have.
I feel like everybody got something last year. Like other than like, like you set up goodie bags and I brought some extra cards and it was like that stuff, but like I feel like we're getting like it sounds like it's going to be way beyond that, which is great. Like
which is crazy. We actually have we ordered a bunch of more tables too, so we have a soft limit of like 48, but if we go past that, we'll put people in the bar area. Like we're willing just to like put as many tables as we can. This was an AOS event. It's becoming a Legion event, and like AOS is like just there too.
We're here too.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like 40K guys showed up, then they bailed, and then like I think there's going to be Kill Team as well because Kill Teams are pretty small. Like you don't need much space to play Kill Team. So we're going to see if anyone signs up for that. But yeah, no, it's going to be a blast. I think hope it's just as good as last year. I'm trying to do the thing sequels do is like we're going to do the same thing as last year but make it like a little bit different. So like I want to be like a Terminator 2 and not like a Home Alone 2, right? Like I want people to like remember me fondly. So we'll give it a shot.
I don't think negatively about Home Alone 2. Is it considered universally bad?
Terminator. No, how about Indiana Jones 2?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, first one really good, second one
not as good. But then it leaves room for the third one to be epic.
Absolutely.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm very excited. It was the most fun I've had at like a Legion week, as far as Legion weekends. Like it beat the pants off of everything. I had so much fun last year.
I thought people were saying it just to be nice, but I've heard it a lot, and so I'm like, oh, that's thank you, I appreciate that. But then I keep hearing it over and over again. So I'm
it was like
no.
I feel like we got back from PAX, and then like a week later, like you called me, and we're like, hey,
dude, yeah.
Would you be available this weekend to come to New York and bring your train? And I was like, I think so.
Yeah,
and then it was like, yeah.
Well, you've got the best tables, right? Like that's just hands down best tables, Nick Bodnar. And so I originally was asked the first year, he's like, hey, do you want to run this? So I'm like, I don't know, man. Can I get like I have a few tables. Jay's got like 4 or 5, but to like out to just source all these tables and have them be pretty good to not great was not cool. Then I called Nick and I'm like, so I told my guy, I'm like, look, if Nick can't come, I'm not doing it. And when he called me again this year, you like want to do it? I'm like, let me talk to my guy. Hey Nick, we free this weekend? You are?
It's
okay.
like, it's totally not, because like I love, like, it's like so many events. It's like how many other like weirdos are there out there that have 32 tables of terrain like sitting in their basement?
That
like
parasite's
not
keeping
many.
you busy. Yeah.
What was yeah?
That parasite's keeping you busy. Whatever's
Dude.
in your brain making you just make tables like that, like God bless it.
So yeah, it's like, it's not that like I think that like people shouldn't like help with terrain, but like if I can bring all the terrain, like isn't that just like, ideal for everybody? That way nobody has to worry about the terrain but me. And that's
Yeah.
kind of like, that was kind of like my position like after the first ACO I did. Because like I borrowed tables for that one. Like Mike had tables, and I think Ryan brought me some tables. But it was like after that, it's like I kind of want to try to do this all by myself like a crazy person. So we did
Oh.
it.
Well, that's why we even did the first event, was to like thank you for like running the northeast of Legion tables. Maybe not like what don't you supply, like LVO, Evergreen, like I can name like 3.
There's a lot at this point, but it's, I like to think that like I've like sparked other people into like wanting to like create great tables and like do better than we used to do. Because like I remember the first couple of years at Nova, and it was real bad. So
yeah.
And it's much better now. So
yeah, no,
be happy about that.
It's people don't know the dark times of like one giant piece of terrain in the middle and then like nothing else on the outside. But nope, it should be a good time. If you have any questions, ping us in any of the chats, the Golden Sprue chat and the big TLDR. We'll see how it goes. I hope I prattled on enough.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope it's as good as it was last year. I'm confident we'll be.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
Warmer.
Yeah. Oh man, that was like the coldest day of the year. We're driving up. It's like negative 20.
Yeah,
my car's like windshield's freezing. I got the heat on blast on the windshield, and we're all cold in the car. I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? But no, I mean it just should be just the same but better. Like we got more stuff this year, so.
Is it the same group like judging TOing that we had last year? So
yeah,
Grammer and Hob.
Grammer can't make it. But he's sending some stuff. Hob will be here though.
Yeah.
And so Hob's coming. And I got to get his wife a jersey. I promised her that. I think I owe you a jersey too. I think
Probably.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone wants a jersey, just let me know. We'll make some Radical Gaming jerseys.
All right. Next.
Sick.
So after Gold Sprue, we get a little bit of a February, and then March. What happens in March, everybody? The World Championships at Adepticon.
Oh, the darkest of days.
I think currently all 4 of us here are attending.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pat got the first invite at PAX, I believe, that I gave out. I think his was the first one. But
we can say it was. That's fine. Sounds better that way anyway.
It might not have been you. It might have been somebody else. I don't know. I gave out 4. Yeah, it was okay.
I think so.
We're all going. We're all very excited, or varying degrees of excitement. I'm excited because it's Worlds. There's a lot. I have a lot of questions. What? Why? Why? So last year format, they did the LCQ on Thursday. 60. I think it was 64 players.
Yeah.
They basically ended up filling the 128 seats for World. So I think like they ended up bringing in like 15 people or something like that from the LCQ. Not just like the 8 undefeateds that would have been at the end of 3 rounds. Which was great. This year LCQ, I believe, is the same size, 64. However, they have a whole mess of side events going on all weekend, which is great because like the con opens for events on Thursday. So there's like a little, if you're getting in early, why don't you come play in a regular old Legion tournament on Thursday if you already qualified? But it's capped at 32 players. And then there's like, you can participate in unconventional warfare for 128 people.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
I'm confused. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually played unconventional warfare. I helped judge it. I helped judge at LVO 2 years ago with Brad. We kind of ran that as
didn't we play unconventional last year?
We did doubles last year.
There's a difference. Okay.
Yeah, unconventional warfare is 800 point Legion, except there's two different tracks you can choose. One of them is like a heavy armor vehicle track. The other one is like character special forces focused, which basically it changes the rank requirements and restrictions. So like the heavy firepower one, you're allowed to bring 3 heavies. So like at LVO that year, I saw, I think 3 people had like 3 air speeders on the table, like in their army, like, because that's something you could do, or you could bring 3 ATSCs, which you can actually do now with Tempest. But it was there. A lot of people, and like at LVO, it was like half the people made day 2, the other half didn't. So they basically tried to push everybody into unconventional warfare, and they did, and it was great. Most people changed their list from day 1 to fit unconventional warfare. Some people just played their regular list because it would fit under one of the umbrellas, or they just didn't get the perks, because there's also perks that unlock after each game. So it gets really weird and swingy. Like imagine if you're like the heavy one, you can take like 2 dark troopers or 3 dark troopers. Imagine if your dark troopers had like a speed 2 move after they deployed. That'd be pretty good. Stuff like that. Like, but like, I feel like this is the world championship. I think there's going to be 200 some people there that are there for one reason, because they are competitive focused players, and they want to play. They want to compete in Worlds. So if they're getting there a day early, I feel like they'd probably rather all play in the Swiss event than unconventional warfare. And the reason I'm talking about this is that like they are reintroducing the prize wall, which is something that was very popular back in X-Wing days, way before COVID.
Yeah.
Like they pretty much only did them at like the system opens and Worlds, if I'm correct. Like, because I think I went to one system open, and it was at PAX. And I never went to Worlds for X-Wing because I wasn't good at X-Wing. I never would have won an invite. But the prize wall is really cool, because basically after each game you play, you're going to get tickets, even if you win or lose. So I think Legion, you get 8 tickets per game played. So there's an incentive to play as many games as you can over the weekend. I think
it's 5 and 1 if you win.
No, it's 8.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 5 for X-Wing, and Shatterpoint and MCP, Armada and Legion are 8. It was confirmed recently. Like after they did a Q&A.
They updated it afterwards.
Yeah, they did like a Q&A thing, and it was like, because basically what would happen is that like X-Wing players would farm tickets all weekend and then get really cool prizes off like the other games. And then those players that were like, so like an X-Wing day, you'd get 25 tickets if you didn't win any games. And a Legion day, you would only get 15. So this way it's a lot closer. It's like X-Wing, they're still going to get 1 more ticket than you, but that's like 1 ticket. So that's not like...
Yeah, not a big deal.
Yeah.
As big a deal anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can actually get, if you win, I think Legion, it's like 8 and then 2 if you win. So you can actually get more than you would be able to if you played X-Wing. You would only be able to get 30, where you could get...
The original issue was there are some prizes.
Or no, you still get 30, but
100 to 200 tickets, and I'm like, there's
nobody's getting. Yeah, I think that
playing Legion, like you're just there for Legion, you're never getting a 200.
I hope they're reevaluating that, because there's like, I think like the math on that is like, I feel like you can only get like 100 tickets unless you like beat somebody up and steal theirs.
Look, I mean those dice, bro.
Those dice.
We'll just go out to eat.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're staying away from Philadelphia. I don't know how many people are getting beat up, so we're gonna be all right.
So like when they said the prize wall thing, I'm like, oh, I'm actually going to try and go in Wednesday night now so that I can play something Thursday. Because like I know I'm going to be at like I'm going to have my most energy early in the week. By the time Sunday rolls around, I'm probably not going to want to play anything because I'm going to scrub out day one, and then I'm going to play like doubles day two with somebody. I don't know. I'll find a Huckleberry, I guess. Yeah, there you go, Pat. I'll have to dust off my clones. It's cool
you'll
though
have to
because
bring
like
some jar.
yeah, I'll have to pack some
You can use
Republic.
my clones. It's okay.
Mike's just gonna scrub out and go see Kevin McAllister's house from Home Alone.
Oh, that's right, yo.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yo.
I think last time I tried to go to House of Blues, but the concert got canceled. So I'll probably try to do that again.
I mean, so I'm gonna try and go in Wednesday night so I can play Thursday, but like I'd really rather just play in a Swiss tournament to practice my worlds list than play an unconventional warfare. I'll do that if I have to, but like those tickets are gonna sell out so quickly.
Yeah.
It's gonna like 32 tickets is like, and there's like,
yeah.
And like there's also people who play Legion that aren't planning on playing in Worlds that are going to try and play in that tournament as well.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer for the casual guy,
yeah.
right? Like who's just, I guess I'll play Legion today. And then like, no,
Nope.
sorry.
Nope, sorry. All the sweatheads got the tickets first.
Yeah. Like all the hotel rooms.
Pat, I know Mike already talked about this on Scoundrels because he's been cheating on me. So Pat, any thoughts on that? What we just talked about? I want to get you more involved here, buddy.
On Mike cheating on you or on
everything? No, yes.
Yes. Because I was gonna say it's kind of messed up. I thought he was better than that, but
no.
Just I think anybody I've heard talk about it hit it on the head. You're spending hundreds of dollars and your tournament could be over in one game. And we're gonna talk about battle reports that Mike and I had today, but you can see one roll just not going the way it really should. How much that can just destroy a whole weekend that you're spending hundreds of dollars on. Like to start the day or at the end of it's your fourth game, you should already be in according to the old format at 3-0. That's rough, especially somebody's first experience. Like it's not the most fun idea. Like I'm looking forward to it, and everybody I've met in the community is amazing, but it's a little rough to put that much money down for something that you only get to do once, and you get to meet all these people, and more than half of them are going to be asked out after 2 games, 3 games, and then by 4 you're cutting it down to what, a quarter of the field?
Well, I think it's down to 32. So you're going from
it's 3. Yeah, it's 3 Swiss
32.
Yeah, it's 3. It's 3 rounds on Friday, and it'll go down to 32, and then it's 3 more rounds on Saturday, which will go into which will make a top 4 for 2 rounds on Sunday, which is it's the same amount of rounds as last year, except 2-1s day 1 don't advance. Where like I advance because like I went 2-1. I am not a player that expects to go 3-0 with like a field of this caliber. Like I don't get to play enough. I spend my time talking about this and making terrain. So like, I don't expect to. It's unfortunate. I would have been more okay with the format if they'd offered like a losers bracket the second day, which is what a lot of these larger events have been doing. Like the FL, like I think Lone Star does it every year. It's like 3 Swiss on Saturday, and then the top 8 cut or whatever, top 4 cut, and then everybody else plays a different Swiss tournament. They can play a different list if they want, or the same list, whatnot. It's considered a redemption bracket. It's really great. It keeps people playing. I feel like that would have probably been my go-to day 2. Instead, they're doing doubles, I think, Saturday and Sunday, where like it's like just do like I think there's spec ops in there too somewhere. There's like I don't think there's actually skirmish anywhere. I don't remember seeing that, but
I know I've kind of touched on this already on another cast, but I know we do have listeners that don't listen to both. My big holdup there is you're at the World's competitive tournament and you're arguably prioritizing casual side events. It's wonderful if you're doing it at LVO, if you're doing it at PAX, if you're doing it at a not World's championship. It's great that people get to play, but I don't think that's the target audience, and I hope that that's reevaluated in the future. And I also think that if you paid to get into Worlds, because we do have to pay to play, despite being invited, we also have to pay for every side event we want to enter, including both individual doubles days. That's stupid.
Yeah, it's a lot. It adds up quick.
You have to pay
At
for
least
each event.
So like devil's advocate, they're not charging a lot for those events. I think it's like $15.
That's
so
fair.
like it hasn't been hit by inflation yet, is what I'm saying.
Correct.
Right?
It's
like
not,
everything
it's not
else.
an
Like
it's not an
it's-
exorbitant amount
yeah,
of money.
yeah.
But
Like
if I've already had to pay to enter the world championship, like
Mhm.
let me play in the side events when you're telling what 8/10 of the field to
Mhm.
go home after day one.
Yeah, that's the bummer. It's hard to plan for this. So it's like, so I'm assuming I'm gonna get. I'm in the same team. I'd like to go all the way. I'd love to be top table with triple ATST and like, just like knock stuff around, whatever. Drop my ATSs on the floor. Like, yeah, whatever. It's fine. Dust it out. Put it back on there. But like my lat is just toast from the first like last Adepticon, whatever, 2 years ago. But I don't assume I will because my list, if there's like someone just brings anti-armor, I'm out. Like it's like, oh, okay, like GG's.
it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, right. Like
Or if
one
your
guy.
opponent's 5s goes 8 for 8, now all of a sudden you can't win. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's I had an ATST shoot 8 dice into somebody and it was clones and they just rolled all 8 blocks. Well, it didn't matter with red dice, they just rolled all 8 blocks. I'm just like, okay, that's how she goes. So it's just a bummer that you have to be like, man, I'm assuming I'm going to lose day one, so I'm going to buy tickets for the side events because I'm going to be doing nothing but gonk racing. Because I don't know what it is, but I got a gonk ready to go. And I'm ready. Like I'm farming tickets, bro. Like if I can't win worlds, like my next operation, my mode of like why I'm here is what's the fastest way I can farm tickets if I can't win? And it sounds like gonk racing. And so I'll just be like, I'm done with like if I get knocked to day like round 1 of
How many
Worlds,
tickets do you get for playing gonk racing, and what is it?
I
We don't even know what it is.
Oh,
you get
gonk,
100 tickets.
gonk racing.
You get
Okay.
100 tickets?
No, no. There's okay. If you open up Adepticon, we'll do a live reading of a gonk racing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I didn't read the description for most things. I just looked at the prices of a few and saw that like, okay, there's Legion stuff every day.
yeah.
Maybe I'll get spicy and bring some MCP models with me and play MCP. I don't know.
I will. I might. I mean, I also own enjoyer.
I also own Shatterpoint now. I could bring
Shatterpoint's
Shatterpoint models.
Shatterpoint's good.
I've only got to play it twice. Pat doesn't want to play with me. He only wants to play Legion now.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Just kidding.
I need all the practice I can get since I'm flying hundreds of miles to maybe lose a game on Friday.
Oh, come on. Let me see. Let me see if we can start. So gonk racing, the way they described it was like category. Is it AMG, right? Atomic mass, what do we call it?
Yeah, I love it when they like somebody like in one of the like blog articles recently, they talked about how like somebody came up with this idea and they were just like, yeah, let's do that. And I love that creativity.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
no, I'm
that's
here for
awesome.
that.
But give me a Swiss tournament on Saturday.
Oh,
give me a Swiss tournament on Saturday.
So we're gonk racing instead of being able to have tables for Legion as well.
Oh, wait a minute, there it goes. It's under Star Wars AMG experience, I think.
Yeah, it's an AMG experience.
It's the AMG experience. This is Disney.
My AMG experience is we don't sell product for 6 months.
Hey, that's
Does Disney own AMG? Is that why they're both tanking Star Wars? All right.
I mean, they're kind of like side owned. So I mean, they're probably owned by Great Bracers, so it's just whoever owns them, right? So AMG Gonk Racing, the AMG Experience Gonk Racing. Be a part of the world premiere of AMG's new gaming experience, Gonk Racing. In Gonk Racing, a player takes control of a hot rod gonk designed for maximum speed, an eye-watering 3 miles per hour, and race them through and around a perilous scrapyard, jockey for position, and utilizing tools in their highly questionable arsenal. No experience or materials needed unless you'd like to bring your own gonk, which can be found in the Star Wars Legion TM Shatterpoint Take Cover Terrain Pack. Players in this event will receive 5 tickets to spend on AMG prize wall for participating. There will be several items on the prize wall for 5 tickets, promo cards, dice. Top end will be 100 to 200. It takes about 2 hours. It takes 2 hours to play. So, and they've got, so like March 21st, it's 9 to 11, 11 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 8. That's 5, 10, 15, 20 tickets just to like blow through some gonk racing. Like,
do you have to buy tickets ahead of time for this, or
it looks like it?
Okay.
Looks like you can't buy tickets yet, right? It says 2 out of 6 sold
No,
on one of these.
No,
Okay.
I don't think you can yet. I don't think Adepticon usually sells tickets until like middle of January, right? Isn't it usually
Yeah.
around like LVO?
Right.
So I'll be buying a ticket for every day for Gonk Racing for every slot. If I can't play, the problem is if I don't buy it ahead of time, odds are I won't probably get to play it. So if I lose day one, and if I assume I'm going to go all the way, and I don't buy tickets for any of these side events, I'll have nothing to do. So I better front load in case I lose. Right? It's a weird it's a weird thing that I'm not super fan of. But yeah, Gonk Racing is where you'll find me. That's I'm here for it.
Yes. Excellent. Yeah, I gotta look at. I feel like events. I feel like they go on sale like the first or second week of January. I feel like that's what I heard.
I'm on the website. I should
but
opens January 7th. What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
Sunday.
exactly a week from the day we're recording.
Sunday. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because you're gonna have to log in. Then I did the super badge last year, the one that came with like
it came with like everything,
all that crap, and that was a mistake. Yeah. So
well, they gave you enough stuff that it was definitely like worth the
it
price.
wasn't worth it. It wasn't not worth it, but
yeah, it was
I think
just so
I'm
much
flying
stuff
again this year, so I don't know how I'm gonna get it. Like,
yeah,
I might just bring an extra check bag.
Did you just have Jay take it back with you?
I did. My pack mule.
Yeah, I mean that's what I did too, because like all my terrain was there and the guys who drove it, I was like, hey, I'm like, can you just like take this back and bring it back to me? And then they ended up forgetting it anyway. So like when the MCP guys, like they brought all the terrain and like he didn't come right back to my house after, like they went back home and then the next day he drove it back and he forgot it. It was pretty funny. I was like, okay.
Those
like,
professional casuals.
Nick, I actually picked up your Boba Fett box.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was pretty at ACO, yeah.
Yeah.
But to bring it back, yeah, man, it's gonna be tough to like buy tickets for this or figure out a schedule. You just have to. My advice would be assume you lose and then just buy something to do every day. Like I'd like to play. I've heard good things about like Drop Zone Commander. I'd like to play that. Or do demo or something while I'm there, or Battletech's a lot of fun. But now that the problem is they said the dirty word of dice, and you can win dice with tickets, and I love me some dice, and I'm willing to do whatever to get those dice.
I think
wait for Mike out in the parking lot, just bonk him as soon as he walks out the door, drag his feet into the bush,
bring it on, man.
With tickets.
Box full of tickets. I'm waiting to book my flight until I see what until I see if I can get like a Swiss ticket for the Thursday thing. Though I think I'm still probably going to try and come in on Wednesday. I think that's like currently what I'm going to try and do. Like
Bro,
Wednesday
we can
night.
just do doubles and Gonk. We'll just do that all day.
I'll just cheer.
It's like if I can't get in the Swiss, I'll just play unconventional warfare or do Gonk. Gonk.
We'll we'll be Ricky Bobby. We'll just shake and bake, baby. I'll draft for you and gotta take the win.
With my little Gonk. Oh, you know what? I might have to like paint up a special Gonk because I've got the 6-up ones. I might have to see. It's about the same size as the Shatterpoint one, I gotta assume. So
yeah,
it's pretty close.
But
I actually don't know what that looks like, so I haven't seen it. Pat, you have that, right? You have the terrain packs and all that.
I don't know which one the Gonk came with. And
then you got the wrong one.
Yeah, I didn't get the one with the rocks and everything, so if that's the one, I didn't get it.
Oh.
No, there's a rock one, like a down crash pod, and then there's a high ground which has a lot of buildings and stuff.
Yeah, so I might have one lying around. If I do, Nick, you can gladly have it.
You're in, baby.
In. Paint mine up all like hot rod color, like red, because red go faster, right?
That's true. Let's see.
Mentality
gives it haste,
Yeah, I mean, I'm likely to just like buy the unconventional warfare thing and then like doubles on Saturday because I assume I'm gonna scrub out Friday. Be sad about life. But yeah, I saw dice too, and I'm like, I want dice. I hope there's black dice.
I did the math. It is 90.1% of players will fail after day one.
Oh,
it's like a lot. It's a lot,
dude. It's just like it's so soul crushing to work so hard to get in and then just like
half the field's eliminated after one round.
yeah, and just have that bad
like,
day.
Yeah.
It's like, well, all
it's
right.
like you lose round one, and it's like not only are you like, oh, I can't win first place, but like, oh, I definitely can't play tomorrow now.
Yeah,
like,
that's a big thing. It's like you
Yeah.
waited all year for this. So I like I get it. But also I'm like I kind of like last year we could lose one,
Yep.
and then the day two was single limb.
Yep.
And so you still felt like you had a chance, you know.
Yep.
I mean, the good news is we are not the only cast or the only group of people that has been vocal about this. So, especially now that they being AMG has an OP and a marketing department, hopefully they pay attention. Hopefully they take feedback into account. And
I'm sure
not
at this
that they
point
have
they
to
are.
listen to us. Like,
Yeah.
let me just
Yeah,
be
yeah.
clear. But if they have questions, like, please ask. You know, we've given some suggestions about like what we think would be a good idea. I'm sure there are other ideas that are just as strong, if not better. But like, just have a conversation with the people that help organize your events, that supply the terrain for your events, and play your events / pay for them. So, you know, just be receptive to feedback. And if nothing changes because it's not possible, so be it. But let's have the conversation.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to at least get like a thought process behind it. Like I'm not necessarily like if they have a good like hey man, we just can't with the amount of events we want to run and the amount of volunteers we have, this is just the way we have to do it. And they'd be like, okay, well, all right, man, like that's cool. Like I get it. Like some clarity would be neat. Like I'm not, you know.
If LFL tells me that I need to run a series of side events because they want to promote different styles of gameplay, that's cool, but we have no idea. We just know that this is what's happening at World Championships. So just
like
let us know.
That's fine, right? Like I'm like that's like a reasonable explanation, you know, that's fine. I'm not asking for the world, I'm just asking for more gonk racing.
Give it to me. Give me all the gonk racing.
I'm gonna be the one dude sweating there. The guy's just gonna be real sick of me because I'm just gonna heckle him every time he's trying to run the event. Like it's gonna be day 3.
You got any more of them prize wall tickets, bud?
20, 40,
hey man,
60.
Look, I'll just leave you alone if you give me 5 prize wall tickets.
It's gonna be I could win 20, 40, 60, 70-ish tickets if I just sit and play gonk racing the whole time. So like, man, you know, I'm here for
prize
it. Like,
goblin.
Oh, dude, that's I think the fastest way to win is that because we used to do so you used to be able to farm it in X-Wing, you do aces high.
Yeah.
And you weren't even like being cheesy about it. You just play aces high, and then like you do a pod of 8 people, and you'd be done in an hour, and everyone would get some tickets, and then you just do another pod, and you played the full game, and you weren't like shaking hands just to say whatever on it. You know, you were just still going through, but like that'd be the way to do it. But man, dude, they're gonna have like some alt card or something that the little parasite in my brain is gonna really need, and so it'll be whatever I gotta.
I mean, I'm all about the prize wall, and I'm glad they're scaling based on the event you're playing in and the amount of time spent. Like that's super good. That's super thoughtful. I'm very excited to see. I hope they preview some of the prizes soon because like I really want to see what I'm gonna like try and get first.
Oh yeah, like, dude, that's hype. Getting a prize article is hype. Like I'm always jealous of X-Wing. They get the best stuff.
They get cooler
stuff. They get the best stuff. And even Armada got some sick stuff last year. So
I mean, they've teased all kinds of stuff potentially. Like they've talked about like you know, they said dice, they said like tools and stuff like that. Like I'm excited. I don't know about like, you know, the idea of like full art stuff is cool too.
Oh yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, I assume they're gonna have like leftover stuff from like previous kits. Like it would be really cool if I could like snag that Palp and that Anakin from the qualifier kits. That, I do not have. Like it would be really cool if I could like.
It's a real nice Anakin card. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I know. I want one.
I put it on the table for the first time today. It was awesome.
It probably felt really good, dude, right?
It felt so good. And it looks so good with that model I have. So
yeah.
This guy.
So I'm still looking forward to Worlds. Obviously it'll be cool to see everybody because like everybody's there pretty much. So it'll be fun. Real quick, I have one event I want to plug. If you got any events you guys want to plug other than what we talked about?
I think the two that we talked about are the only two I can actually go to in the
Right.
next 7 months. So
Fair.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
yeah.
Always time for the sprue, baby.
Well, so I had to burn a few brownie points. We had some staffing changes at work this week that we're now a little later of because so I technically lost my vacation. Oh, okay. It's later because of decisions I had to make. But I technically lost my vacation time for Golden Sprue, and I'm burning a few brownie points to get up there.
Oh no.
It's like
It'll be worth it.
Mike, no, it ain't worth it, bro.
That's
Mike,
the only event outside of Worlds that I can actually
bring
get
special
to.
tree. No, Mike has to go because he's probably bringing some tables for me.
Well, yeah, they're actually like 6 feet to the right now.
Do you have two?
Yeah, there's 2 tables.
Okay, good.
I can reach out and I'm touching them right now. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they're safe and sound.
All right.
There's no mats though.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, they had.
Okay.
Yeah, they had mats at the store today, so I figured you'd like if you needed a mat, they would have one. They had 6x3s, but yeah. Yep. So this coming weekend, January 6th at the Mariners Lodge in Barnegat, New Jersey, me and Chris Lewis talked about this on the last episode, but we have about 20 people signed up right now for that. So if we get like 12 more, we're gonna get to like do the whole thing with like 3 invites, and it's gonna be crazy. Make it hard. Make me do it. Make me bring all the terrain. Do it. You can find that on Game Uplink.
TM.
Yeah, this is actually a format that I would really like to see be a thing going forward. For anyone who did not listen last week, the quick and dirty it's a 32-player tournament. If all 32 get hit, all 16 losers in the first round will be thrown into a second tournament that is completely separate from the first. You'll be forcibly dropped from the event. And there's another Worlds invite on the line because it's a 16-person tournament. So everybody can essentially go X and 1 and have a chance at an invite because there will be 2 16.
It's a great idea. I wish we thought of it.
The first one continues as normal, and then the other one is essentially just 1 round behind.
I wish Chris had thought of that before because like it's brilliant. I'm scheming for next year now. I'm scheming. But yeah, I'm excited for that. So we played some games. We're gonna do some bat reps.
Mike's favorite thing in the world.
Right. You guys want to go first? You and Pat? Or you want me to go first? All right.
It was only a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
Pat, you want to talk about the first one and I'll talk about the second, or vice versa?
I don't want to talk about the second one because I still don't understand how that.
I can explain my confusion. So if you want to take the first one, I'll take the second.
All right. So the first one was an Anakin Yoda matchup, which was probably the usual Yoda list. I don't know if you want to run through it. I know yours is a little different than the usual because it has 2 full arcs.
Yeah, I've been doing the little tweak where you drop the strike for the clone commander, move Echo into the full arc, and I have battle meditation on Yoda instead of guidance, so that on the there is no try turn, both my arcs get relentless.
And it's
pretty
terrifying.
Nasty. It's good in the mirror.
It's really good if you somehow save out of it.
Yes.
As we'll get to, but yeah, I ran an Anakin Cody list with 3 core, 5 Z6, both have medics. They're both phase 2s. Boy on a phase 2 with protector to forego barrier, even though I know I need it in the mirror. That way I can keep a throw on Anakin, a full arc, an echo strike, and a bark with comms relay. So I have pretty good order control. Giving up a little bit for that, but I think the utility, the way I play, just suits my playstyle better. Supply drop, intercept, and is it major? All right, so it was major, and I got first blood, got a model, and then you slowly started picking up a few of mine, as your list probably should in that matchup. I think the big swing was around turn 3. Cody got with 1 aim turned 4 crits up, no pierce into your echo. You got rid of 2 of them and then 2 blanks, which kind of made you change how you had to play. And a big swing you took a few plays later, I think the next round, with a full arc into a Z6 did about 2 wounds.
Yeah, you missed the 5 shot in between. That decimated my other full arc. The 7
was that not? No.
Yeah.
Well, they stepped around the other side, right? They hit the Z6 first and did nothing, and then I answered back, and your arc models got picked up very quickly. It was unfortunate. It was very swingy, and that goes back to the point of that should not have happened statistically. I got a couple of very lucky rolls, and it was only 2, but it was enough. And when your opponent's picking up a full arc in the middle of the round and you're almost untouched, you're doing pretty good. And there you go. You're going home from Chicago because you had 2 bad dice rolls, or I had 2 really good ones. And then
there you go.
Unfortunately, your last big play was Echo with a full RPS in the open into those same clones, and I believe I lost 1, maybe 2 models, and 1 got put right back on the board with the bacta from Anakin. So I don't think there's really much else that was in the game. It was a couple of big swings. It showed me that my list did have, it could possibly stand up to the Yoda list, which was kind of what the test was, but it still did need those things to happen for me to have a really good chance. Obviously, Yoda is a little bit good if you guys haven't heard. I'm sure you all have plenty. But yeah, kind of was I needed something to happen, and then it did, but it probably shouldn't have. And I will take the win any way I can get it, though. I'm not picky.
Yeah, it was a pretty, I must admit, it was a pretty interesting mirror. We played intercept instead of key positions to try to force some engagement and see the interactions. And considering they started on round 3 versus round 6, we definitely got our money's worth there.
Made the game a lot less boring.
Yeah, it's a lot less boring. The clone mirrors are pretty interesting on intercept because you're forced to move forward, and a lot of the times it's whoever makes the first mistake or gets the unlucky roll loses. And then I do think I compounded the roll by getting a little too aggressive with that full arc that ended up dying. But when you go a full unit behind, you kind of need to make a play when you're playing against the same thing that you have. So I definitely got punished for my hubris there.
Yeah, and you said it yourself. It was a pretty interesting
game. Cody is really good in the mirror.
Yeah, you said it yourself. You tried to have those guys move up to make up for losing the guys in Echoes. And it was just those 2 plays back to back was just unfortunate. And yeah, Cody puts crits through, and when your barrier's down, he's getting stuff through.
Yeah, even when it's up, he's a mini Bosk. So if you're only taking away 1 of the crits and there's still 2 or 3 more that you have to roll, Yoda and Anakin lists do not want to roll dice. They don't roll red dice. They pick up tokens from the table. So when you make them actually play the game, they tend to falter a little bit.
And with your list, I obviously wasn't able to set up, and your knowledge of my list, I wasn't going to be able to set up many fire supports. So it's mostly just, I need you to miss when Cody hits, because I'm not going to have too many chances until maybe late in the game to back that up without worrying about that unit getting picked up itself. So.
Yeah, and then our second game was much different. You swapped into an Anakin quad sniper list, right? Quintuple sniper list. 4 full arcs and then Echo in a phase 2.
5-0 first, 4 full. Yeah, Echo with the medic in a phase 2, the Bark, the clone commander, and Anakin with barrier. So in that list, I definitely think you get rid of throw for sure.
Yeah, I swapped to rebels. I talked on Scoundrels a little bit that I was kind of excited to experience Op Luke against some of these clone lists because I think he does very well into what they do. Like, he takes their tokens and he makes their units shoot against each other, which is really good. And I've had some good success with it so far, and unfortunately that didn't really continue today. So I played Luke, Chewie, an officer, a smattering of Rebel Corps with some range 4 crit guns, an FD, and then 2 full commandos, and a Ewok unit that I used B1s for because I don't own any Ewoks.
Yet.
Yet.
When he gets hooked on the list, I'm going to make him buy Ewoks and make me paint them.
I'm not going to lie.
His worst nightmare.
I did look to see if they had them in stock today. They did not. Yeah, there's no Ewoks over there.
Oh, you know why? You know why? Because Pat, not you, Pat, the other Patrick, he bought a whole bunch of them for his wife, so that it's because like she wanted to play Bright Tree Village and Skirmish.
Oh,
so
okay.
like he went
There
over
was an
and bought.
Ewok player at
Yeah,
scrimmage today.
yeah. She was. Yeah, he was. They were really like he ended up leaving early to go so they could go home and put them together and paint them for the tournament. So that's where they all went.
Oh, so that's why I couldn't find one.
It's funny though. I think they have more in the back, but I guess she just didn't. Yeah.
I don't know. I waited 45 minutes to get a couple magic cards, so I wasn't waiting for.
I won't. Yeah, I won't. I won't poke that bear.
No, that one's still raw in the memory. I'm kidding. It's fine. They were busy. It's New Year's Eve. No, but so I played the Rebel list there. And we played Intercept, Major, and Supply Drop again. So it was essentially the exact same game. We did move the table around a little bit so that it functioned differently, but essentially it was the same. Nothing really happened until turn 3 when I got the wet dream of a Serve Your Master and was able to have one full arc, one shot, another full arc while taking all of Anakin's tokens away because I rolled like 3 surges and said, I'm going to spend those surges. And then he had none left for defense and rolled 4 defensive surges and he couldn't convert any because they were gone. So it was pretty amazing. But it didn't really matter because Luke ended up Son of Skywalkering the other full arc next turn. And that was all that I killed except for 3 other models across the entire game. When DLTs and CMs don't throw multiple crits or even a single crit when they attack, it gets really tough to take clones off the table. And when it's only a single and you've got barrier on the other side, you just block it away.
No commandos?
Well, that's what I was about to get to. Pat's arcs across the first, like we'll say turns 1 through 3 forgot that they didn't have critical anymore.
I think turn 1 I had 3 crits.
Yeah, and they just rolled natural crits because they were like, we lost the surge, so we're just gonna turn that to a crit on the die. And unfortunately, I burned Protector early on Chewie, and the crits kept coming. So it was a little unfortunate there. Yeesh. But even the full commandos just whiffed. And when you do pull the full commando shots in, you lose the high velocity when you add the extra dice.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, when clone dodges go up, you can still essentially save your way out of them pretty safely. I was a little concerning today because arguably Pat's list is not really a defensive focus list. It's not like a clone dodge castle. There's no Padme. There's no Yoda. There's no scanners or anything, and I still couldn't kill anything. So it's a little different than some of the past experiences I've had. It's not going to immediately turn me off the list, but I'm a little worried if that's going to be a consistent theme. Luke kind of got hung out to dry towards the end. It was really strange. So even though I killed the full arcs, Pat had not yet taken a unit, and I still lost the game in the end on points somehow, because on the Son of Skywalker turn, I went for the unactivated arc that, you know, you would say is the threat to the entire army because it was like range 3 from me. But I I killed that, and then the rest of the army that was pretty far away killed me over the final 2 turns. So in hindsight, I should have actually dove towards Pat's back point into an already activated unit and killed that, and essentially just taken my beating that turn to give myself a chance for the end. It was rather strange. But I don't know. It's tough to say. Like in the heat of the moment, when you have an unactivated full arc that's about to walk into the middle of your army,
target,
like, you gotta kill it.
Yeah. That's arcs just do a lot. So yeah,
it's the same as like if you've got any kind of unactivated special forces unit that's like about to step into your army, you have to kill it. But unfortunately, I made the wrong decision there and came back to bite me in the end, and I lost on points again.
And I think we even said it. Like, it's funny that your right decision after the game was something you would never do. Like, that's almost never the right decision at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that's one of the interesting things is that Legion presents a weird short-term, small sample size case. So even if you make the right choice, you know, you're only making it a 6-turn vacuum. So the timing matters a lot. But it was a good learning experience there. I think the list is interesting. I might drop Chewie for another full commando. The Guardian was interesting, but Protector gets burnt so quickly that it didn't really do enough against the sniper spam that I was kind of concerned about because there's just too many crits. And I couldn't stop them.
Lando's real good. And when I hear Op Luke, I think Op Luke Lando is just so good, right? You throw his Op Luke's like special cards in the contingencies, and you bring all of Luke's like guaranteed good cards, and then you have whatever else you want in there, and Lando's cards are fine. But man, it's like anytime he shoots at clones, they just kill him because they're range 3 too. So it's like a weird, like, he's so good. Sharpshooter 2 surge to crit, pierce, like you think you're like, oh man, and you remove one model, maybe. If they didn't have dodges, then he just gets clapped and like removed. And so yeah, I don't really have any advice on that right now because I'm like, man, anything range 3 has to be phenomenal to stand up against that kind of like firepower.
You have to like pick your engagements really carefully with rebels in range 3. Like you always have had to do that. That's not like new knowledge.
It's not.
Yeah, I know.
But
It's
it just feels
right. Lando is
worse
super
now.
tempting and he looks really good. But then you remember he has to fight things at range 3 and he still has a white save and he just, you know, uncanny luck doesn't care about ranged pierce.
No,
like,
it sure doesn't.
It's like, oh, I rolled 2 saves out of 3. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna pierce 1 anyway, and you're still gonna take 2 and feel bad about your life choices but
yeah, I do.
I love Lando.
I do think that I'm gonna go back to clones for Golden Sprue, and I'm gonna bring some sort of Cody. Cody looked really fun, and he was really good against what's active in the meta right now. So I'm not sure if I'm not really sure if I'm gonna do the Cody Yoda because that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
Same time, bro.
I've got a really nicely painted Anakin that I haven't put on the table in like 3 years, so I might do like an Anakin Cody and just steal Pat's list. But
I really wish
we'll see.
Old Ben was better because Obi-Wan and Cody is like they're on the card art. You want to play it, right? You want to do all my clones are painted 2/12 because that was before the Obi-Wan show came out. And I'm like, I can't wait to watch this great show they're gonna give me. And like I was only a little bit disappointed, but I really wanted that to be a thing. But it's like anytime you Guardian with Obi-Wan, it's just such a gamble. You're like, oh man, like I don't want to do this. And then I'd like to see like Cody tank. Like that seems pretty generic and boring, but like I'd like to see Sabers back. Like that, you know.
Yeah, they need it.
No, after seeing the double, I don't want to see Sabers again. That was traumatizing.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. They beat Mike.
Oh no.
Oh, I played the double saber player round 1 of PAX, and it was a Padme Dodge Castle, and it was traumatizing.
Oh, okay.
Double secret mission, double saber,
double
SA
tank.
spam. Yeah, it was crazy. It was really good. Man. Like it was cool.
It's just
never
like
again.
I wish armor didn't have to be so skewed to be good. Like I wish 1 tank was like good. You know, like okay, I'll take 1 tank, and like that's covers my like for ATSTs you need 3. 2 is just not enough. I know it sounds crazy.
Yeah, but
it's just
like,
but it just sounds crazy. But like you need 3 to be that big a threat because 1 gets burned down in a turn usually, and then
the list I took to Nova, I was like, I can fight 3 ATSTs, like I beat it, and it's like I can kill one round. Like I can kill one round, and then I can kill another one round 2, and then like, you know.
Yeah,
probably fine. Yeah, probably fine.
Then like, what do you have? You need double air speeder. One's just gonna die. It just
you need triple air speeders.
Yeah. I wish you could just splash in armor a little bit. Cody just makes me want that because it's like it'd be cool just to have like a thing like a 1 infantry support platform. Rip those, but it'd be cool to take 1 of those and just be like, yeah, it's fine. He's just a fire support machine instead of I can't see anything, I can't move anything. I guess I'll just sit in my deployment zone.
Well, I played a game. Well, I played a few games lately. I know, right? It's crazy.
Must be a nice change of pace.
I know. I played a game on Thursday against one of our locals, Sean. He's getting some practice in for LVO. And our tournament next weekend in Barnegat. So he's been playing experimental droids. He brought him to PAX as well. So his list was a Kalani. I don't remember the exact upgrades on Kalani, but it was Kalani, 3 full BXs. They all 3 had swords. No extra heavy guy. Droid. No extra heavy droid. 2 B1s, 1 of the Magnus, the special experimental droid Magnus, and then he had 2 snail tanks. I haven't seen a snail tank in a little while. Like played against one. It's been a little while. But I got to this time. I was playing Luke Skywalker as well. I was playing a rebel officer, Chewie, operative Luke with barrier push. Chewie had Protector, obviously. 2 vets with the CMOs, 2 MKs, 2 full commandos with the sniper and emergency transponders, and then a strike team with an emergency transponder and the sniper strike team. I can't talk. I'm having trouble talking here. It's a problem.
You have a podcast.
It's a problem. It's a problem. So we ended up playing Breakthrough, Battle Lines, and War Weary. So he was blue. He had like a couple point bid. I didn't have any bid at all. So he was blue, and it definitely was like a this is dangerous. Like I ended up banning like he had bombing run third. Bombing run was there third. He could have double banned a bombing run and then forced me to play. At the end, I think he had payload, which didn't feel great either. Because hemmed in was the first thing I had to cut. Or not, hemmed in. So because I was red, that would have been real bad. Luckily he didn't do that. I was able to get Breakthrough. I felt pretty good about it because he only had 9 activations. I had 10, so I was like, I'm just like, he did Kalani's thing. He gave all the BXs reinforcements. He started setting up like on one end of one corner, basically, or sort of like one corner. So I started setting up on the opposite corner because there was this very large, it's like a hot table, very large shield generator running up the side. So I would be able to like hide behind it, like walk behind it, have heavy cover for like half the board, basically. Except I put a bunch of things in front of the shield generator instead because I just didn't respect the snail tanks at all and their firepower. Arsenal 3 is pretty good because I looked at it. I'm like, his only real range threat here is like if the BXs get into range 3, they're gonna chuck 8 dice. That's a lot, but it's not like they don't have Pierce. It's not great dice, so it's gonna be swingy. And it's like I can just I'll just try and tank at the snail shots once they get into range with barrier and protector Chewy and stuff like that. Dodges. I'll be okay, but I didn't exactly respect the snail tanks. He also after I deployed everything, he put his BXs down. He put 2 of them basically right across from my army and scouted them up. So they were like range 2-ish from like a lot of my army pretty quickly.
Geez. Okay.
Yeah. And but that was okay because I had Luke, and Luke has force push, and I neutered those two BX squads pretty quickly, like late round 1, early round 2. I played I Am a Jedi turn 2 so that they just couldn't attack. I was like, I have my whole army here. I haven't taken a wound yet. I was like, you just don't get to attack. I'll kill these things this round and then run from the snail tanks the rest of the game. That didn't work very well. Snail tanks with Arsenal 3 and the experimental droid ability to add dice. Like they also had linked target array, Kalani chasing them around, giving them extra aims. It was something. I lost an MK pretty quickly. Basically as soon as they got looked at funny by a snail. I ended up getting a little bit too aggressive with Luke, and I put Luke where he could get shot by a snail. And then he had a dodge and he was in cover, but I'm like, this will be fine. But he was out of range of Chewie. So Luke rolled like 7 dice and took like 4 wounds. After he had deflect up.
That's a real high snail roll.
Oh yeah, it was they roll so many dice with the Arsenal 3 and that extra black white dice they get to add from the surge token each time they attack.
They get that? I didn't think they did. They don't have AI, right?
They do have AI.
It's only a special trooper, and is it vehicles too? I thought it was just support.
It's AI. I believe it's AI unit.
Okay.
I haven't I'll be honest, I haven't looked at that battle force a lot, but experimental droids.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, with aims, I think with the second aim, the snail averages like 7.2 hits, which is crazy. And when you've got 2 of them, if you know that you're going to be rolling 14 dice plus whatever is coming behind it, like at the minimum, that's a lot of firepower for a not super expensive piece of armor.
Oh yeah, you are correct.
Tank doesn't get the bonuses. Yeah,
you are correct. So that was played incorrectly.
And you call yourself a podcaster?
I do. I told you. I haven't looked at it at all.
So he can't talk and he doesn't know the rules.
It's true. Why am I here?
Hi, I'm Nick, the terrain guy with the podcast.
That's why I'm here.
To be fair,
Straight up.
We're just in your studio. It's okay.
We're just lurking.
It's
to be
weird
fair,
that it exists, that it's a special snail but it
Yep.
can't use the ability. That's a little strange to me.
Yep, I did some before last tournament packs. I was gonna bring the droid experimental battle force, and I was playing grammar on a software, we'll call it, and I I was cheating. Well, not cheating. I'm sorry, that's not right. That's not fair, because it's very, you think that the special tank should do that because it takes a lot. You lose a lot of stuff on there. So
Yeah, you don't have the surge to hit anymore.
yeah, for 2 games I was playing it just assuming it was in there, and then I had to look something up for something else, and then I know the tank doesn't get the bonuses. So if you make that mistake, it is not cheating. Wrong word to use for that.
No,
very
it's
easy to
so
miss.
weird.
I
That's
don't
a
wanna say it
weird
like that.
thing, right?
Really
It's
bad
like
word to use.
we've
It's just
gotta-
it's just
Yeah.
very, you think it should because it loses a lot to get that ability to do that.
And
And so so no, I did it wrong for a few games, and I'm like, well, this isn't too bad. And I saw they can't do it. I'm like, maybe this is kind of trash. I don't know.
I'm not sure why you would take that tank in that battle force now, if you can't do that. Like,
With the extra dice,
just
it makes sense. Yeah, like
yeah.
or the extra aim. Or
I
something.
mean, right? They still get, like, Arsenal 3 is still a lot of dice, because like if you get into the range 2 with like one of those missiles, it's like it becomes like
Doesn't the ion gun lose impact too? Yeah,
it loses
Just
impact.
hit
Yeah,
so bad.
it's
Yeah,
like you still get to roll like 10 dice if you get the Arsenal 3 off.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I
but-
was using it with bunker busters because to scatter people out for my other guys to shoot. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's not. And like the ion gun is range 1 to 2, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Take that one over like high energy or something like that. Doesn't synergize as well. But so yeah, the snail still rolled a lot of dice, before that. And he rolled like every time he rolled, there were like 3 or 4 surges, and he could not spend them. He could not convert them. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Like when
bad.
a red die rolls a surge and you have to spend your aim to reroll red dice. It's just like, it feels so bad.
Feels real bad.
And then he re-rolls it into a blank. It's just like, oh no.
Power to him for having 2 snail tanks. So like that's a true
That's what I
son
said
of the CIS.
Right. So yeah, I got a little wacky with Luke, and Luke took a lot of wounds very quickly. So Luke had to run away and like hide behind a line of sight blocker until like it was, time for him to do something again. Chewie had like 3 wounds left, and I like just ran him away as far away from these snails as I could. I'm like, just don't go near them, buddy. You're fine. But I ended up winning. I think it was like 6-4 was the final. His like last gambit was to like move a snail out and basically try and kill Luke, who had 1 wound left, the officer who had 1 wound left, and a rebel commando squad that had 1 model left. And I didn't even see it coming. But like he moved it around the terrain, and he just like was like, Arsenal 3, shoot here, shoot here, shoot here.
Oh dang.
And
Okay.
I lost Luke. Then I lost the officer, but then the commando saved.
The
commando double saved. Yeah.
Dang.
So it was like, if he had done that and then also killed Chewie, it goes to kill points. And then he probably wins because I didn't kill any snails.
Yeah.
I didn't kill anything but like BXs. But it was fun. I'll have to shoot him a message and let him know about the whole, hey, you're not allowed to
I did it too.
do that with snail.
Did it too,
yeah, it's so weird because
why even make a special thing if it can't use it? Like
it'd be different if like you just let them use the snail, because it's supposed to be like the Kashyyyk invasion force that went and fought the Wookiees, and they had snails, so it makes a lot of sense. But like, if you can't like do the cool thing, like why? And also like, why not just let them do the cool thing?
Yeah, man,
like with their toys. Like
like
that's the whole point, right?
It's I nice thing that is just a document. They can just like make a little delete the or, put a comma, and put the heavy symbol, and be like, done.
So
like problem solved.
Corey Satili is still the experimental droids king, I guess. For sure.
Oh, Corey.
But yeah, it was fun. I mean, that was like the 3rd game I've gotten in the last couple of weeks. I've been having a lot of fun with Rebels again. Operative Luke is pretty cool. It was also like part of it was like, this was an excuse for me to finally get my Strike Me Down Luke out. onto a table and play it. Because like,
yeah.
even though like that is like honestly like the model by itself is not that cool.
Yeah.
It's like I put it on the table and I'm like, this is just not as like I'm just not as enthusiastic about this now as I was when I looked at it on the shelf next to Vader and Palp. I was like, this was a lot cooler on the shelf.
No, I had to have it. I definitely like when I was at Gen Con, I'm
a sucker.
I got in line and I bought one, and then I saw it was resin, and I'm like, nope. So it's just sits now. I have like a
dude,
it's just unopened on my shelf. It's just in the box. I'm like, that's nice. I'll just
resin sprues suck so bad.
They're terrible.
Like
They're
the
terrible. So it's just sitting there. It'll never be opened. It's
collector's item.
Yeah, you know, it's you know, I need to sell a kidney, I could just sell that, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. Looking like full commandos, real good. Really like them. They hit really hard. It's fun. Good times.
Okay. How about this? So how much time do we have left?
We basically I'd say we have like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Mike doesn't have to go to bed yet.
No, we'll keep it manageable, you know.
Okay, so let's say I'd like to do we could do, instead of a whole tier list, do you want to do like each of us give like a best and the worst?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I think that's like
per faction or overall? Because that might take me a minute to ruminate on.
How about like overall, like your top pick, bottom pick for Special Force?
Okay.
Because that's like a let me open up a Legion list builder, Legion HQ. If you don't know about it,
I hear it's a good one.
The TM.
Oh, hey. While Evan is looking up our Legion list builder, Nick, do you want to plug the Patreon, since we totally didn't do that today?
Well, I know I'm so bad about doing it at the beginning, but like everyone obviously listens to the whole cast, so they're still here. Remember, guys, we are part of the Fifth Trooper Network, and we have a Patreon, Fifth Trooper, patreon.fifthtrooper.com, something like that. Please support us. Every little bit helps. Mike's been bouncing around on Notorious Scoundrels, so if you don't listen to them, you can hear him again on there, because it wasn't enough for him to come on my cast. He's got to go on their cast now too.
I'm on there once a month, sir. It's actually like once every 5 weeks, but yeah.
Okay. Ish. I've got my two. So my top and my bottom.
All right.
I'll say bottom. Pathfinders. I think they know me gusta. I don't know how to fix them. Like that's the problem. Like, because it's so Danger Sense 3 sounds cool. Okay, like all right, I roll to die. Like
until you look at those white dice real hard.
Yeah,
like, there's not a lot of paint here.
Dauntless sounds good.
Did they forget to paint a side on these dice?
Oh man, these are pretty blank. Infiltrate is a trap. It's like you think it's like deep strike in like 40k, so you dump a unit down in the middle of their back line, and they just start like, you got like melee like Space Marines with jetpacks and chainsaw swords. You're just gonna dive in and cause havoc, and it'll work. It does not work like that in Legion. If you ever deep strike, unless you've got some big brain plan, it's like you dump them down and they just get like at least that's been my experience. It gets
so a lot of the problem with Infiltrate in Legion is that like you put a unit down, I put a unit down. That makes it very hard. Like if you put a unit of Pathfinders down, like somewhere where it is like very close to your opponent's deployment zone, they can just block out the rest of your Infiltrate units very quickly.
Yeah.
Just by putting something next to it. And then it's like, oh, now you have to go range 3 away. So there goes your support.
It'd be interesting to have like a comm upgrade that's like we already have like long range comm, but like deep strike comm or something that's like you can infiltrate range 1 or 1 movement away from this guy. So if they do block you out, you can like kind of keep stacking to make like it.
You could essentially just make it you could just alter Infiltrate to include like a detachment rule that you have a bubble around there that you can, if you have already placed
other units with Infiltrate may
infiltrate can infiltrate.
Other units with matching name, even like other Pathfinders. Not necessarily like heroes.
Oh man,
not okay,
there's that Scarif Battle Force. I'd love to see. That'd be perfect place for that, right? Like,
contact us. We can
give them like make a keyword that's like the opposite of reinforcements, where like you get to deploy these units like first. All of these units deploy before like you alternate deployments. So like you could
call
deploy
it deep strike. Fuck GW.
Yeah. It's I'm here for that. Because then like, okay, when's the last time anyone ever like taken POW? Like, I don't know. I take him when I just want to be like themey and I want to play like Jim Cassian K2.
If I want to play
POW.
2 units of Pathfinders for fun, I take POW. That's the only time.
Because he's just counterintuitive a little bit. Like, then so Biston is still good, and people are like, oh, Church of Biston, he's so good. All hail Biston. Like, he's fine until you realize like there's no way to generate like an aim easy. Like all the tricks you have to do, the handshaking to make him like get back in there is just a lot. So Pathfinders are my worst because I really want them to be good. And I remember Alex Davey on a panel at Adepticon, I think actually was talking about. He's like, yeah, we kind of messed up with Pathfinders. We didn't think to give them like a generic heavy. We just thought people would buy 2. People bought 3, and it's like, you can't really like taking a naked thing of Pathfinders is, I don't know. But so they're my worst, and then my best is actually going to be something that was supposed to be, or I think supposed to be around the same release. I like the ISF. Maybe not the best overall, like my top pick for best special force period, but I think they're pretty good. They're point wise, they have that fun synergy with Iden, where you actually get to like move out. You get to do the special force and you kick down a door, you like shoot and you get back into cover, and it feels like you're doing some cool stuff. Marksman's good. Reliable 1 is perfect. Makes them slightly tougher. Infiltrates that trappy keyword, but like I think overall, like in the fact that you can take, you've got 3 specials for their heavies. You just got generics. You can do 4, right? Iden, and all the good stuff. So I think I really like them thematically, and it fits the battle force well, or not the battle force, but like what you have in your mind for what you're going to play. It fits well, and it's a cool theme. Like you're playing, the ISF. Like you get to play Imperial Special Forces, and it looks cool and it feels right. And you're like, you don't have to sacrifice good units for theme, because it can kind of fit that. But they may not be the best overall, but they're pretty good. I think they're slept on pretty heavily. Besides like one list, like. But yeah, those are my top and bottom. Both infiltrate units.
Pat, why don't you go next?
Yeah. Before all the rebel units are taken, my worst is their Mandos are.
I was almost gonna go with them.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I was almost gonna go with Mandos. Yeah.
I was looking right at them in the Pathfinders before Evan talked, and I was like, which one am I gonna crap on here? And it sucks because they should be so cool, but range 2, especially with everything else going on, I mean, they're gonna melt.
Yeah.
They have 3 models at 1 health. You make them almost 100 points for a 4th model. They want to be in melee at that point, but they're 92 points, and they're not getting to melee. And if they are, they're getting pushed out of it and blasted by everything in any good army. They should be better. They're awesome models. But yeah, that's kind of the easy one, especially after the other one was taken. It's not even.
Yeah, I'll go first.
I was about to flip a coin, and he said that, and I was like, "There we go. I don't even have to decide." And I really want to say something besides arcs, because I think too many people are talking good about them, and I don't want them to end up in the trash can again for a year. Bad behavior,
self-preservation.
Like, if I'm being honest, I think they're in a really good spot, and maybe a couple other things need to catch up. They're at a point where you can take a couple of them in the army, have a nice themey army. Look, to Evan's point of, like it would be great to take some Pathfinders and feel like that's the thing. Like running Anakin and some arcs and some other clones feels awesome.
Feels cool. Yeah, it looks cool.
Suck to have those great models on my shelf.
Just like in the movies.
Just like the movies.
For the entire time since they were out, because COVID stopped most live gaming, and then they were too expensive until the most recent update.
Thanks TTS.
They were not playable for most of the time you had them. And it's nice to be able to take a full unit, and it's not just, hey, here's 3 snipers, they're ARC troopers. Wow, that feels great. It's like, no, these feel like ARC troopers. They're kind of wanting to get in your face. It's nice and themey. Again, I think it's more they're in a really good spot. Obviously, if we were ranking them, they'd be the F tier because they go in any GAR list and are fine. But yeah, I think they're just really good. Maybe just a tad too good. I'm not going to be too much of a homer, but I think other stuff catching up would be better than them them going down, because then we're just back in another place where, oh, Gar sucks again. How do we fix it? Points, and then they're tough to get good, but they're right. But I think other things catching up just a little bit would be better than detention for another year.
Buffs are always better than nerfs, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather things get to that level and be better than like, well, that thing's too good, so let me knock it down with all the other stuff that's bad. That doesn't make me feel good. I'd rather, other things get up to their level.
Yeah, do we want to hit each other with pool noodles, or do we want it to feel like Star Wars?
Yeah.
And a lot of the other big units are already getting hit too hard in other parts of the game, so let's keep it feeling like Star Wars.
Love to see it.
So my worst is actually the ISF.
Oh,
generic
he went the other way.
Okay, yeah, no, all right,
So-
okay, no, that's fine,
Okay.
that's fine, that's good.
And
that's
I
good.
actually, for a lot of the reasons that you said about the Pathfinders, I feel like the generic specifically, because I do think Inferno is a separate unit. I think they're really good. I think they're like
much different.
B plus A tier. They're strong. But I think the generic ISF are just Pathfinders, but at range 3.
Okay.
They don't have a range 4 poke. They don't have a blast gun if they somehow end up at 2. They still die really quickly because they're 1 health apiece, and 4 to 5 health on a red save with only a single surge just does not cut it anymore, especially when you don't have access to dodges or defensive tech. And they just they don't have the arc abilities. And as soon as they get to range 3, they're in range 3 of all the Gar. And yes, they can step back round 1, but that's it. And then they're just T21 stormtroopers that you paid extra for.
You're not wrong. And I guess my lens is colored by I've played them with Iden and 2 and then Inferno, right? So so that's fair. But it's a bummer because stat wise, like they're fine, right? Like if you take some of the stuff that's like currently good now, get out of here, get shoo, and you like look at their stat line, you're like, okay, like red save with surge, okay, black fine, surge, okay. Oh, I can make crits when I want to, okay. Like I should be okay against some armor a little bit. I should be okay against some guys in cover. Look, if you're gonna shoot at me back in my day when it was like stormtroopers with a DLT and you're like you get 2 over cover and you're like, oh holy crap, oh what a good roll, right? Like and like being able to take 2 there, but like we're in a world where it's like black suns roll up.
Yeah.
Here's 11 over cover, right? Like you're like, I'm just dead. Yeah.
Generic ISF are a perfectly adequate unit in a world where that's not enough.
Yeah. Okay,
They're
that's
fine.
fair.
Like they depend on aim support. It's really hard to get them aim support outside attack strike because to actually take advantage of what they're good at, they need to be further forward. And if you put your officer with spotter further forward, you're just
toast
gonna die.
Yeah.
So that's why they're my worst. I just think they're a one-trick pony whose one trick isn't really that good anymore. And then I think my best are Magna Guard. I preached the Church of Magna pretty hard.
Damn it.
So you get for going last.
Fuck. No, I didn't get a choice. He just took it. To be fair.
I to the point that like I've even run Magna lately, like in this world. That's how I got my invite.
Yeah. You beat me up at Nova with triple Magna. Yeah.
I mean Nova, and then I got second at Crucible with them.
Oh dang, okay.
Yeah, so like they're good. And I think they're single-handedly keeping CIS afloat, personally. If when CIS makes waves, you either see experimental droids or you see triple Magna. And I think that's telling. They're just hampered by the fact that the rest of the faction doesn't really do anything anymore. And as soon as you see CIS get a buff, like Magna are going to be everywhere again. They've got a ton of health. They've got melee. They've got charge. They surge to attack. They have access to tokens. They've got range 4 critical. Like there's really nothing they don't do outside of have force push.
Magna made me hate the game for a while because a
couple
of guys.
Because
this was a while ago because they were just so when they first came out. When they first came out, no one like cared for a little while, and then they like started to take off. And then I remember playing triple Magna and a few locals. Like I would bring them and just kill everybody. And I'm like, how do you deal with these? Like I don't know what to, like. Do you remember the scene when Darth Vader rolled into a bunch of robots and they beat him to death with sticks? You know, it's like
at LVO a couple years ago, I played doubles with Florf, Zach, and we both took. I took Maul, he took Dooku. We each took 2 units of Magnas, and it's like, remember the scene where 4 squads of Magnas dove into Vader and Palp and beat them to death? Like we remember.
We just made it.
We remember that scene. It was great.
It was to the point where I put Vader back in the lat to try to get him away. They shot it down.
Yeah.
He fell out, and then they just beat him to death when he was like trying to run on foot. It was funny.
He's already dead. He's already dead.
It was good, but yeah, I just like didn't know how to beat him because like, man, they with outmaneuver. Like you get a crit into him, like nope, retinue dodge, and then when they could retinue themselves, that was like, I guess I'm in charge now.
Well, they
take
still
the
can.
dodge.
Like the B
So,
one.
I mean, that's the big thing though, is like nothing has changed on Magna. They're just 11 points more expensive.
Yeah.
Everything else is identical. Same power level, same dice, same effects.
B1s being so cheap enable them to be spammed so
Yes.
efficiently.
Yeah.
The problem now is that B1s are just like kind of trash. Like
Yeah.
they're just
It's
not
why
worth. Yeah, they're not
they're
worth
not
anything.
good.
It's why I'm
Yeah.
cautiously optimistic about Geonosians, because I do think that the little
They're at
bug
least
guys
interesting.
might re-enable
Yeah.
my Magna.
They're at least interesting.
They're at least
Yeah.
different. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah,
Like,
they might do something. Like B1s don't do anything.
yeah.
They just get picked up. But
Yeah,
yes,
Mike. If
Nicholas,
I had to pick one that wasn't Arcs, I was gonna say Magnus. But after playing 4 of them in one game today, I had to go with them.
I would.
I mean,
they blasted.
They killed themselves in one turn with no aim. So I mean,
They're
they're
good.
pretty.
yeah, there you go.
Knowing Evan's history against Magnus, I was surprised he didn't pick Magnus.
I was surprised as well. I was
No,
like, yeah,
I-
god
I
damn,
worried
Jack,
that
think of
memory
something
is
else.
so bad.
I was going to, but like I wanted to
Stay
pick
positive.
something. Yeah, I wanted to pick something else I have like passion about. Like man, it's like
Fair.
with ISF, I'm like, man, I wish I could go to Worlds with these and feel like that's a good idea.
You can.
Like-
You can just join the other 89.9% of players who don't make day two.
Dude, just won't
Evan,
make
you-
it.
Evan, you said you planned on losing day one, right? So you might. As well
Oh
stay
yeah,
with
no,
them.
I'm no, we're sold on the church of 3 ATSTs is the best ATSTs, so
we're
we're just
sold on-
moving.
Just do
Told
double
him the church
ATSD
is not
ISF.
racing.
Just knock one down.
Double ATST. So now I'm making my own battle force. It's called Evans Crazy Town. Here we go. Just anything goes.
It's called the Gonk Race Memorial Cup.
The Conference Memorial Cup.
Brought to you by ISF.
Oh, perfect. I love it.
All right. You guys haven't left me a lot here.
No, you can. You know what?
You
It's
can
No,
repeat.
I've got it.
Yeah,
I've got it.
how
I've
many
got it,
times
and
have
I've got a
you picked
reason. I've got
Okay.
a. All right. So
Oh, boy.
worst, I they've all kind of been nailed, right? Like,
Yeah.
poor rebels, we suck. Whatever. So I can't really add anything to that. I would just echo. I probably agree that like Rebel Mandos are like the worst thing you could take. At least like with Pathfinders, like you can make a case to bring a Biston Pathfinder because the
Yeah.
ion his gun is good.
Sure. Yeah.
And like it's supported by the free configuration that lets you throw another 4 white dice in at range 4. That's a lot of dice with impact. Like you don't need an aim, you're gonna get a crit. Fine. So my best, and this is actually like this was my second pick from the beginning, Mandalorian Super Commandos, Shadow Collective.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
yeah.
Okay.
They are I played them a bit right after Worlds.
Me too.
Before they got a little points touch. So like, you know, they're the two generic heavies are actually like, you know, a little bit cheaper. Great.
Yeah.
Starting with like their kit, they just have a lot going on, right? They're always going to have a green token. It might not be the one you need, but you have one, right? Like getting a dodge is great. Getting an aim is great. They have a range 3 weapon that's pretty respectable. They have a range 2 weapon that's very respectable. They roll 2 dice in melee, like arcs, like a lot of other really high quality units. They surge to block, 2 courage, red defense die. You know, they have the variance problem where, like, you know, if you roll 7 defense dice, you're probably going to lose a couple models, and that feels bad. But, you know, they are speed 3 and they have jump 2, so you should be able to get them to places that keep them safe until you want to strike. They've got that silly rocket that is you can shoot it at any range and mix it with any of your other weapons to form some pretty crazy, disgusting dice pools, some with lethal. So, you know, I prefer the marksman for the precise.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
good.
that's really solid. It's a large dice pool, even with only like 2 models left. It's still like a lot of dice you don't surge, so you really kind of want to maximize your aims. They have a training, they have a comm, they have a gear, they have a grenade. I don't know why you'd take a grenade, maybe a smoke grenade. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you just want to take all the upgrade cards, like I get it. They are 75 points, but they are elite. They feel like special forces, like ARC troopers. ARC troopers, Wookiees feel like special forces. They hit really hard. They can be durable. Wookiees just have a lot of wounds. ARC troopers get a lot of token support.
The shield's really good.
The shield is
Right,
really
Just
good.
being able to say, I don't have to roll 2 dice. Here you go.
Yep. Just like first 2 things that come through after my dodge and cover, like, guess what? I'm just not going to roll it. I get a get out of jail free card. They start getting expensive once you take more than just a heavy, but I feel like they're worth it every single time I take them when I'm feeling really spicy and want to take some special forces. It helps that, like, we might not see them played if like Shadow Collective had like a version of strike teams, because like, that's kind of the thought process with competitive players, but they are really good. I'm always like happy with them after I take them. There's a lot of ways they can be supported in the army as well. So that's my best. It was not my top pick, but it's,
that's a good one though. I actually forgot they were a thing.
It's like the one thing I will say about Rebel Mandos is the list that was running around that was Boba Fett, Old Man Boba Fett, and like the 3 commandos. You take 3 Mando commandos and they take the rockets, and you have this like turn 1 alpha strike of like, you play rule with respect.
Yeah.
And they're throwing 4 red and a black with, impact 4, crit
blast.
4, blast. Mm-hmm. Like that was pretty good.
Nah, the Rebel ones don't get crit. That's only the Shadow Collective ones. Shadow Collective ones get critical.
Okay, bummer. Yeah. But they have surge to hit, right? Yeah, because
they surge to hit.
So I mean, like you could do a nasty alpha strike, and like maybe that's enough to like tilt the tide that you've like removed enough models. But Mando Super Commandos, I really like them. I wish Gar was better. That's like the
I feel like if he was just cheaper, like I think he'd be okay.
Or his
like
sniper
you wouldn't,
was
because
like
right, you just like he's got so many things he wants to take, and you just like once you take them, he's like 150 points.
Yep,
and that's crazy.
It's the Din problem.
Yeah, it's the same problem with Din. I agree.
And so like because Gar with 2 Mandos is pretty good. I like doing a Maul with just Rook Cast. I think that's cool.
That's fun.
Like,
that's fun. That's fun.
She's mean like that. You can do some cool stuff there. Like
lots of dice, and she gives you an extra wound.
Yeah, and she can keep up with him because he's run all around, and she can just move speed 3. I think there's some good stuff there. It's just like, I wish Shadow had a non-bus medic, like even like that was a legal repair droid or something to like pick up a Mando here. That like who cares? Let him have it. Like it's not. Let him have it.
Let Shadow Collective have anything.
Yeah,
let them have anything. Give me an excuse. Give me an excuse to put my Shadow Collective back on the table, because like I build a list and it's like I've already played this list. Like I've already played it. I played it all. Like I don't want to. The only thing I haven't played is 6 Black Sun, because I don't own 6 Black Sun.
I mean, couldn't we add like a spice dealer to the?
Yeah, maybe it gives them suppression.
And no, just like a spice dealer. Like he just blows some of their heroin. He just
blows heroin.
There you go.
That's their medic without releasing a new kit. Like you just have here's an upgrade card that we're adding.
They're like temporary emergency stims. You just get like really high, and that's your stim.
Yeah, the guy just comes back to life. It's like
I'm here for it.
Parts of Philly.
Schenectady the card.
It's very safe and nice. Don't worry about Schenectady. Nick didn't almost get mugged out there. Don't worry about it.
Vince and Goditis and Keebler escorted me back out to the parking lot. I felt safe. I felt very safe.
He didn't have his prize wall tickets on him, so he knew Evan was going to do
it. No, that's what the guy asked next. He's like, hey, you got any prize wall tickets?
I take out the blackjack. I see everybody else like, I'll put it back.
I'm gonna like try and buy the prize wall tickets from like the X-Wing players I know at Worlds.
Prize wall tickets. Got any prize wall tickets?
Oh, see, they're all getting really into Shatterpoint. They're all getting really into Shatterpoint, but they can't paint. X-Wing players can't paint, so I'll be like, I'll paint you a mall for 5 prize wall tickets. I have no shame.
No, dude.
Give me that Anakin promo. I'll paint all your models, is what Nick's saying.
Right.
Before we spiral way too much, Nick, what is your worst?
I mean, they've all kind of been nailed, right? Like, I don't know. I
got a hot take one for you.
Oh, you can have it then.
Gar Wookiee's not in a battle force.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that
yeah.
100%.
They're
That's a
not,
good one.
they're not
That's a good
touching the table. Like they're obviously F tier in their battle force because they have to be. But outside they're a hard F.
Yeah.
Maybe F
Yeah,
minus.
just
Like,
because you can
if we
bring
go
all of
lower.
them. Mhm.
Yeah, like why bring them over something they can share the tokens now that Yoda can't share the standbys and all that other fun stuff. So, which
Yep.
is good, very good.
Oh,
We're
God.
all in agreement.
Yeah, no,
No more,
that's
no more sharing standbys.
no
We're
more
all
dark
agreeing.
times, please. Thank you.
All right. I think that wraps it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
We've been here
pop
a
this
while.
before it gets too big.
Been here a while. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you at Golden Sprue and Adepticon. And LVO if you're there. I won't be there.
Golden Sprue.
And day one of Worlds.
And
Day one
Worlds.
at
We'll
Worlds
all
at
be at
least.
day
I'll be there. You'll
one.
be there day one at least.
All right. Have a good one.